friends. It's me, Molk, your friendly neighborhood Molk and Molk. I don't know. Welcome to the TV Binge Box. This is the season finale for the 2024 season of the TV Binge Box. I'm glad you could join me. Before I start, I'd like to pay my respect to the leaders, past and present, of the Dark and Jung people. That's the country on which I'm coming to you from. I acknowledge that the country was never ceded, and this always was, always will be Aboriginal land. Friends, it is a big one. There are a couple of big shows that we're going to talk about tonight and a couple other shows. And of course, there's binge box shows. I mean, there's stuff that the UpMolks and the DownMolks was stuff that we want you to fill us in and tell us what you think. But importantly, we're here for a good time, not for a long time. So make sure you swing by, drop your comments in so that we can include them in this, or even just drop them in the post afterwards, because we'd love to know what you think about the shows that I'm talking about. What are the shows that you're loving? Keep us in the loop. I'm sorry to jump in a little bit early this week, but such is life. Look, there's just too much to talk about. We've got heaps going on. Remember, if you want to keep in touch with me and all the stuff that's happening for TV Black Box and TV Binge Box, go to my link tree, linktr.ee/Steve Molk. That's where you're going to find all of the information. And of course, if you rate and review the podcast wherever you do find it in your feed, if you're listening after the fact or watching after the fact, because it's on Spotify as well, you can watch it there. That helps people find it. It feeds into the algorithm, and I guess that's a thing. So be involved in that. Let's get started. This first show that we're going to talk about tonight dropped last week, and I really wanted to talk about it last week, but I didn't get time to work my way through the preview, so I've had to churn through them like a normal person. I know, the trauma. Let's have a look at season 3 of The Bear. These are the non-negotiables. Vibrant collaboration. No repeat ingredients. It's just, honestly, it is the ravings of a madman. And in season 3 of The Bear, we're getting so fucking serious. Like, it hurts. And it's so, so good. I just am loving it so much. For those that are unaware, season 3 follows Carmen Bizzardo, played by Jeremy Allen White, and Sydney Adamu, played by Ayo Edebiri, and Carmi's cousin Richie, played by Ebon Moss Bachrach, as they take what they need to do everything that they can to elevate this newly opened, revamped restaurant, The Bear, that was the beef of Chicagoland, but still functions as that during lunchtimes. And they've turned it into a fine dining establishment, and they want, well, Richie particularly wants a Michelin star, and he's obsessed by it, to the point of just churning through relationships and burning everything in its wake because of this one star. It will be his star. It's for his restaurant. It's haunting him, and he hasn't even got it. And God, it's amazing. It's so incredible because the relationships that we've seen, dysfunctional as they are, grow through the first 2 seasons, are getting some real payoff in season 3. And it is so many levels of stress. If you are someone that works in the industry, you might look at it and go, I cannot watch it. It's just PTSD too much. Totally understand. It is fast. It is harsh. It is brutal. It is at the cost of actual relationship between the players, and that's what's incredible. And that's just in the kitchen. That's not even talking about Carmi's history, which we're getting a lot of as the main protagonist. We get sort of more insight into how he got to where he is and why he's like this. And that in itself is like, it's just amazing. It's just amazing. So the incredible, without spoiling stuff that has gone before, and Kyle, the excellent guy that we have at TV Black Box that does a whole bunch of stuff, has said that he hasn't watched it. He's been sleeping on it. I'm going to try and do this without spoilers, Kyle, because I want to help you appreciate it. Season 3 picks up fresh off the back of season 2 ending. So we're like not very long. Like I think it's the same day, the afternoon of, or the evening after, and we're straight into the aftermath, the broken relationships, and in the midst of it, the realization that Carmi's former abusive CDC built his drive for perfection, and in the process absolutely broke him. And he had some great mentors, people that developed him and counseled him and cherished him and encouraged him. And then there was this character played by John McHale who's a complete prick, and it's perfect, who just absolutely beat him down. And look, I would expect some big payoffs in Kami's history playing out through this season. I've seen the first 9. I'm just sitting on episode 10 for reasons I'll tell you about in a second. But the thing that I thought was most amazing about season 3, and I do, well, just quickly before I dive into this, Stephen says that season 3 is a letdown. I profoundly disagree. I get that you may think that that's the case, Stephen, and that's fine. Profoundly disagree. This is just compelling television if you can get past the stress, if you can deal with all of the trauma that flies around those relationships. Episode 1 of season 3 is amazing. It's a short film in 28 minutes. There's not a word spoken in the first 5 minutes of the episode. As we see Kami's immediate history come to life and how he got to be where he is and his journey to personal greatness and what that's cost him and how it continues to cost him. And then there's like a sentence. And then across the rest of the episode, it's just really sparse but incredible visuals. This is a TV series that demands every part of your attention. You cannot turn away. And I think that that is a rarity in particularly streaming drama these days. This is, you just have to watch. You have to watch. Not just because you'll miss something, but because you are drawn so deeply into this world, into the Bear's world, where he is broken. It's like a 12-step program. He's broken and he doesn't want to admit it. But he knows he's broken. And we see in the way he interacts with people like Richie, who he dearly loves, and Sydney, who he has this incredible professional relationship with, he's just burning them. And Sydney is working with her idol, effectively. And she's getting Jackie. You can see it's eating at her. She wants to be a part of vibrant collaboration, but he's changing everything. Like it's this amazing mess. And I think that it's not, this is the penultimate season of The Bear. Season 4 will be its last. There was rumors that they were filming at the same time because all of the players are just incredibly, hot in demand now, but that's not the case. They will, or they have filmed bits and they will film all. They will film it all. Season 4 coming, I believe, 2025, and that's it. So the story will be delivered to us. And I think that this season, while there may have been high highs and amazing moments in the past, this is not that, and it's intentional because this is about the reality of Kami's drive and what his history has done to him and how that's being repeated, even though he recognizes it and is trying to stop it. It doesn't have to hit the highs because his life is a fucked up mess, and we have to understand that. And we have to journey through that with him to feel and develop the payoff. So I think, look, first of all, you need to stop listening to me bang on about it. Just go fucking watch it. Kyle, just go and watch it. It's amazing. Just go and watch it. If you are someone that wants to meter it out, and I do recommend that you do, my friend, the very excellent comedian Justin Hamilton, has created a companion podcast series. He is watching one episode of The Bear season 3 every day and dropping like a 20 to 30 minute sort of reflection and review on that episode. And it's brilliant. It's so good because he is able to reflect a lot more deeply than I can. And of course he can drop spoilers, and I'm not dropping spoilers for it. It's totally worth your while. If you haven't seen it, do that. Watch an episode a day and listen to the podcast. That's the way Hamo's doing it. And I as someone who's watched the first 9, I've now saved episode 10 because I want to, after episodes 9 podcast, watch episode 10 and listen to the podcast. It's so good. And I love Hamo's, thoughts and engagement and reflection on this. I do know that the story takes us to some dark places and some amazing places. And the fact that we get, again, just sprinkled lightly, an incredible core cast in, as I said, White and Edebiri and Moss Bachrach. Then, of course, there's Abby, Elliott, Lionel Boyce, Liza Colón-Zayas, Matty Matheson, Molly Gordon, and Oliver Platt, people. Oh, my God. That's the core cast. The facts are so funny. Jesus, the facts are so great. But then you get some excellent actual chefs in as special guests. And, of course, Olivia Colman and Jamie Lee Curtis and Sarah Paulson. And yeah, some nice surprise ones that I won't ruin for you, that are just glorious. And that the strength of those key special players and the core cast mixed together with this incredible story is reason enough that you should go and watch The Bear season 3. All 10 episodes are available right now on Disney Plus. I'm going to stop talking. Go and watch it. Just go and watch it. Go and watch it. Aqua Foley! Axel Foley is back. Nobody asked for it. And yet, here it is. Detective Axel Foley, played by Eddie Murphy, is back on the beat in Beverly Hills after his daughter's life is threatened. She, played by Taylour Paige, and Foley team up with a new partner, Joseph Gordon-Levitt, and old pals, Billy Rosewood, played by Judge Reinhold, and John Taggart, John Ashton, they are reprising their roles, and turn up the heat and uncover a conspiracy. It is classic Axel Foley, classic 80s, 90s, Bruckheimer Simpson film, just pushed into the 2020s. And I thought I would hate it. I really did. I just went nostalgic. Like, they're just going to pull their punches. It's not going to be anything like we want it to be. And as someone who saw all of those first 3 Beverly Hills Cop movies at the cinema because I was old enough to and loved them, it's so fucking great. It's so good. It's not a great film, but it's just great to be in that universe with obviously some ages having crept on to Murphy and Ashton and Reinhold particularly. I just expected to hate it, and I loved it so much. Everything about it, from the opening car chase, snowplow debacle. Paul Reiser returns, and he's been promoted. It's just classic Axel Foley, and everything is great about it. Though you do note that the core characters have gotten older, straight up. For starters, Axel isn't doing a whole bunch of stunts. Eddie Murphy's not doing anytime it looks like he's jumping and climbing over things. Some pretty neat edits that look like he's just stood on the top of that thing and jumped, and they've cut in as his feet have come down. He's not jumping anything. Judge Reinhold and John Ashton are old men. Still great. They have inhabited their characters again. Like they just took a coat off and put it on. This loved coat. There is no mention of Jane, Axel's daughter's mum. I'm going to guess it was Mel B, but we probably shouldn't talk about that. It's sidelined. In fact, Jane's the only female character in it. And in a hint to just how lazy the script is, she's the only female character really in the whole film. And she drives the only car that isn't black or white in the entire film. It's red, a red BMW. So, I mean, you tell me. It is the excess of 80s films transmogrified and delivered to us in 2024 on a streamer and not in the cinema. There are the fish out of water gags like the Lego cops and all of that sort of stuff. It's fun. Particularly if you remember the first 3 films, this is fun. If you are new to the Beverly Hills Cop franchise, you're going to wonder what the fuck this is. This was what 80s films were like, except with more boobs and more, kind of racially dodgy swearing. But we do get a little bit of that in the midst of this. My brother. Yeah, look, it's so fun. It really is. And I cannot recommend enough to go and check out Beverly Hills Cop. Axel F. I did learn something in my research for this, apart from, just by the way, the soundtrack full of 80s bangers, like connected to the films, just popping back in. Now, of course, the key theme for Beverly Hills Cop 2 was named Axel F. The dun 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 dun, created by German composer Harold Faltermeyer. And it turns out, I didn't know this, he co-wrote a number of the big pop songs that appeared in the film. Neutron Dance, The Heat Is On, performed by the Pointer Sisters and Glenn Fry, respectively. He co-wrote them. And we get, just spread out across the film, various cuts and edits on the theme, that kind of synth soundtrack that's classic 80s, plus then some revamps, reworking of the entire thing. It's marvelous and fun. And go and check it out. Bronson Pinchot's in there as well. Paul Reiser's in there. Kevin freaking Bacon is in there. So we've got a whole bunch of returning friends. We've got our new friends in Taylour, Paige and Joseph Gordon-Levitt. It's Eddie Murphy playing Axel Foley, man. Like, I don't know how to sell it to you other than it's just stupid fun. It is so good. Beverly Hills Cop, Axel F. is 1 hour and 57 minutes of just tell me what you think of it. And it premieres tomorrow, Wednesday, the 3rd of July on Netflix. I've managed to see the whole thing, and I'm so glad I did, because I think it might have been something that I just sat on my shelf to go, I'll watch it later. I'll watch it when, the holidays are on, or I've got a spare 2 hours. By previewing it for this, it made me watch it, and it's so good. It's stupid good. But that's the nature of the beast, isn't it? When you take a character from a series of films that were big in the 80s and early 90s, and those dates, by the way, that Joseph Gordon-Levitt lists in the trailer, that's the dates of the 3 films. Duh. And the first couple of, they made Eddie Murphy a film star, and he was a massive comedy star. It was huge what this did for Eddie Murphy's career. Anyway, I'm just burning doing the Neutron Dance. Get into it. Feel good about it. Beverly Hills Cop, Axel F. on Netflix. Do watch it, don't watch it. If you watch it, it's just stupid fun. Oh, this is amazing television. I was actually there from the creators of You Can't Ask That, which has been an excellent documentary series for the ABC. I was actually there, is a phenomenal 6-part documentary series that zeroes in on, and look, no question it will be multiple series, but for the first season, 6 huge events that are just plucked from Australia's history. And we are far enough away from each of them that the very excellent creators and directors have been able to get together a bunch of people that were actually there and interview them, sit them down and just get them to tell their story. And holy shit, it is so powerful. Hearing people share their view and their perspective and their story around what has been an incredible moment, or days, years, of course, for some people, in what it looks like, it's just amazing. So that explores, this series, I was actually there, explores moments of our recent history through the eyes, ears, and voices of those who witnessed them firsthand. What was it like to lie quietly on the floor of the Broad Arrow Cafe in Port Arthur while a mass murderer shot everyone around you? How did it feel to be a first responder on the scene of the massacre? To be a journalist who accidentally found herself on the phone with the gunman, or the sniper tasked with taking him out? How emotional was it to be a part of the high-stakes rescue mission of 2 miners trapped a kilometre underground in Beaconsfield? Or to be those miners, caught under the rocks, writing messages on your clothes in case you never saw your family again? What if it was you that lost your grip on your teenage son in the raging waters of the Boxing Day tsunami? Or sped away from a desert detention centre in Woomera with an escaped asylum seeker hiding in your car? Or bantered with the Beatles in their Adelaide hotel room? Or captured the moment on a suburban footy field where a proud Noongar man called out racism? These are unfiltered, uncensored, absolutely unequivocal accounts of 6 critical events that give us a multidimensional view of how these moments shaped us as a country. I was actually there, looks at 6 key events: the Port Arthur massacre from April 1996, the Boxing Day tsunami from 26 December 2004, Nicky Winmar's stand against racism as an on-field player in April 93, the Beatles' world record-breaking Adelaide visit in June 1964, the Woomera Detention Centre breakout from March 2002, and the Beaconsfield mine rescue from May 2006. I can remember a bunch of those. I remember watching them on television and hearing all about them and capturing, seeing and hearing and understanding those moments. And while some of the people involved in them have spoken or written about their accounts or done those sorts of things, Brent and Todd particularly from Beaconsfield, of course, I think that there's obviously so much more about all of those stories that we can hear and learn and understand and benefit from in hearing them again. This is going to be, and I've seen a couple, they are phenomenal. Well done to Kirk and the team behind. I was actually there. Now, this series premieres Tuesday, the 9th of July. So next Tuesday night at 8 p.m. There will be no binge box, so you can go watch it live on ABC TV. All episodes will then be available on ABC iView. So if you like the look of it or you don't want to watch it there, you can, of course, go and binge all of them yourself. To add to the mix, Kirk Docker, who directs this, is hosting a companion podcast that also drops next Tuesday. I was actually there. That is, each episode is connected with an in-depth interview, one interview about each moment. So he's grabbed one person from each event and they've had a great, deeper conversation. And I think that's going to be an excellent way. And just another layer to add to this incredible storytelling. I say this a lot, I appreciate it, but I cannot recommend it highly enough. The 2 episodes that I saw were just gobsmacking and deeply affecting to hear these people tell their story and to share what those moments meant. For most of them, you know, they're 20 years on now, and that's amazing. But man, to hear how it affected them and that it still affects them, totally understandable and yet totally amazing. I was actually there. It will be 6 episodes available weekly. All of them available on ABC iView after the first one airs, next Tuesday night, the 9th of July, ABC, 8 p.m. Tune in and check it out. Definitely worth doing it. I recommend it to you. And now for our last show of this season's TV Binge Box. Now, this is a series that has gotten some mixed reviews. This is The Acolyte, the latest addition to the Star Wars universe, set hundreds of years before everything that we know from the Star Wars movies, in that franchise. This is the Jedi at their, I'll say, the early part of their height as peacekeepers come galaxy police force. Old Republic Jedis, if you're in the Star Wars lore. And it's a tale of 2 young girls who follow different paths and sets up some it does not paint the Jedi in a very good light. And I think that's really good. A really powerful reminder of what the Jedi were, what they became, and where they landed for those, again, that are connected to it. This is an excellent addition, I reckon, to the Star Wars universe. Not everyone agrees with me, but I'm going to say tough titties because I think it's actually quite good. So what we see is an investigation into a shocking crime spree. It pits a respected Jedi Master against a dangerous warrior from the past. And as more and more clues emerge, they travel down a dark path where sinister forces reveal all is not what it seems. Ooh! Also, Trinity from The Matrix is a freaking Jedi. Carrie-Anne Moss is in this, and she's a freaking Jedi, and it's excellent. There are 8 episodes in this series, and I found the first 3 or 4 episodes a bit hard going, I have to tell you. The sisters, I didn't quite get what that was all about. I think it was until episode 3 when they really explained some of that. I just felt it didn't seem to mesh well for me. So that's probably why people are, the Acolyte's not very good. Fine. I'm not making you watch it. I'm not your real Star Wars mum. For those that are considering or do want to follow along, this week is episode 6 of 8. But of course, all of the episodes to date are currently on Disney Plus, so you can tune in there if you want to catch up. You don't have to have watched any part of Star Wars before to understand it, other than knowing that they're a Jedi and they have lightsabers and there are good guys and there are bad guys. The end. Though I would say that people who are into Star Wars are getting a whole bunch of payoffs in some of these early tales and connections about what it means to have, the Jedi in their place with their position and their opportunity. That's Star Wars. That's the Acolyte. It has a really good cast, I would offer. Amanda Stenberg, Lee Jung-jae, Manny Jacinto, Daphne Keane, Charlie Bennett, Jodie Turner-Smith, Rebecca Henderson, Dean Charles Chaplin, Junice Suotomo, and Carrie Ann Moss. Trinity from the Matrix. Oh, so good when I saw Ignite the Green. So good. And so good. Like The Acolyte. It's available right now on Disney Plus. Episode 6 is this week. There are 2 more episodes to go after this week. And I'm keen to see how they resolve this and where this goes and what they take it with. That's The Acolyte. Friends, what a journey we've been on. So many TV shows that I've banged on about. So many that I've said are good. A few that I've said are not great. Even just in this episode. But, I am keen to know. Here is your opportunity. We're just about to go through the final UpMolks and DownMolks of the season. But I would love to know if you've watched any of the shows that I've recommended or poo-pooed this season. Have you watched them? What did you think of them? Drop your comment into the thing and we can bang it up on the screen and we can talk about it. But right now, I'm going to go into the UpMolks and DownMolks because I think it's worth it and I think that you should know what's going on. But if you watched anything that I recommended, throw your comments in the thing and we'll talk about it afterwards. First of all, in my UpMolks and DownMolks for this week, I did dive back to the start of the year, Fargo Season 5, starring these 2 incredible people, Juno Temple and John Hamm. John Hamm is just horrendous, and it is incredibly good. It's so great to watch him. Juno Temple is his beaten down wife who has a history that we learn about through the entire season. It's excellent. So it is no surprise that I'm going to tell you that Fargo Season 5 gets a huge UpMolk. What Fargo have done, the people who make it have really turned it into this brilliant anthology series. Each season is new, independent, unrelated. It's just set in the same kind of location, but in different times. So even this one is set in very recent history, but it's not right now. So look, amazing tale, incredibly well told. Fargo Season 5 is available in full on SBS on demand, and I reckon you should go and watch it. That's what I reckon. My next show for the ups and downs, Welcome to Wrexham Season 3 has just finished on Disney Plus. And I'm not going to give any spoilers. It is ups and downs all the way through the entire season. I am loving the storytelling from within Wrexham and the reflection of what the team means to the town and that relationship, as much as we didn't get a whole bunch of it this season because largely Ryan Reynolds was off filming a film with Hugh Jackman. But I love it when we see how Rob and Ryan reflect on the journey together or what it means to them and how they engage with the people and the fans and the club as the owners of Wrexham Football Club. And it's amazing. It's so good, full of heart, full of joy, full of sadness that has come out of, love for a team that hasn't gone too far or just life. And it's the hugest UpMolk. It gives me joy watching Welcome to Wrexham every time, every episode. It is right here in the chest, and I love it to bits. That's on Disney Plus. Every episode available for all the seasons, including season 3. This is a new series that's about to start on Apple TV Plus. It is called Sunny. It stars Rashida Jones, the lady on the left. And I apologize, I didn't write down our actor friend who is the man on the right. The basic premise is Rashida Jones plays a woman whose husband, the man on the right, unfortunately dies. And she understands him to have been a refrigeration mechanical, work at a refrigeration, kind of factory where they make refrigerators. Turns out, no, he made robots. And it's based in Japan, and her husband made her a robot called Sunny, who is delivered to her after his death. And Sunny and Rashida Jones's character determine that they need to go and find out, understandably, what happened to her husband. And in fact, given that he created Sunny, is Sunny the key to helping unlock that mystery? This is an interesting sort of mystery thriller. It's got, I think it's 10 episodes, could only be 8. It drops next week. I haven't watched the whole season yet, but I have watched a couple. I struggled, friends. Your mileage may vary. You might find that Sunny is right up your alley and it scratches all of your itches. For me, I just found it to be a downmolk because look, it could have been the time of day for me, but it just was not pushing the right buttons. Sunny is on Apple TV Plus. It starts next Wednesday, the 10th of July. You can tune in and check it out if you want. I just want to give, to top and tail the entire series, this series of TV BingeBox, huge shout out to Patrick Bramall and Harriet Dyer. Congratulations on the final episode of Colin from Account Season 2. Oh my God, it was great. I cried, I laughed. It was excellent and it was brilliant. And they have left us with such a deep need for Season 3, though I don't know how soon we're going to get it, because just hot off the presses, friends, Patrick Bramall has been named as the lead in a new series coming to Apple TV Plus called The Dispatcher. And it sounds really good, and he will smash it out of the park. I know he'll be great. But Colin from Account Season 2 is available in full on Binge right now, and I commend it to you because, look, no spoilers, no surprises. Big UpMolk from me. I've loved both seasons. Harry and Patrick have done a phenomenal job, and congratulations to them for just how great Season 2 of Colin from Accounts was. They next leveled everything, not just their characters and the ensemble with them, but the new characters that came in, including we got to meet Patrick's family, Gordon's family, and fuck me, they were funny. So good. I really enjoyed every single one of them. Yeah, really, really phenomenal. That's Colin from Accounts. Well done, friends. Well done, Patty and Harry. The final UpMolk, DownMolk for the season. I know I talked about this on the TV Black Box podcast, but I'm going to throw it in here. This is called Paper Dolls. This is a series based on, if you remember, there was a reality TV series in the 90s called Pop Stars, which actually gave us Sophie Monk. But it created a manufactured 5-girl group called Bardot, and it was fraught from the beginning. There was issues and all sorts of stuff in just their creation. Anyway, and of course, it didn't last. They got a good album out, and then the second album didn't really do much. And sorry, kids. Farewell, Bardot. The legacy is that we have Sophie Monk, if that's a legacy. The Paper Dolls is a fictional retelling of that kind of moment. A manufactured girl group gets put together and it's dysfunctional, and how are they going to survive, and will they be a success, and who even knows? And welcome to Paper Dolls. And it was based on an idea from one of the girls that was in Bardot, and she acted as a script consultant. And Jesus, they should have just worked on that script a whole lot more because it's shit. It's so bad. Like, I cannot tell you, this gets the biggest downmolk. And I want to support Australian drama every chance I get. This was horrible. The plot went all over the place. It made no sense. There was an just unnecessary, weird love triangle thing. Everything was telegraphed, so you saw it coming. It was bad. Don't do it to yourself. Paper Dolls. if you really want to check it out, think of it like a car accident, right? It's on Paramount Plus in full, at least at the moment. The way 10 are going, who knows how long it's going to be there, but Paramount Plus. That was my UpMolks and DownMolks, friends, for this final episode of the TV Binge Box for this season. Would love to know what you think. Make sure you send me comments, comment on the YouTube channel, on the reviews, on all of the things I'm going to put out. A quick shout out to our friend Radio Notes, who I said Hidetoshi Nashijima, who I have absolutely just butchered, I apologize, is Masa Sakamoto, who is the husband to Rashida Jones's character, who creates Sunny. Thank you so much. I appreciate you, John, for letting us know that. Friends, this has been the TV Binge Box podcast. Thank you for joining me on Tuesday nights during my university holidays. It's been so fun. I love the community that is the TV Binge Box community, where we just share openly. This is what we love. This is what we don't love. And yeah, it's a special place, and I don't want to. Like, I'm glad that it's just us and not like that we don't have huge success, because it means that there's no jerks, right? I have very low jerk tolerance when it comes to television. I love hearing what you're watching and what you're loving and what you're not liking, and I love hearing what you think about the stuff that I watch, and encourage you to watch and those sorts of things. I don't need dickheads coming in and, oh, you know, if you're wrong because the things, fuck off, mate. Go tell someone who cares. Here we are. This is the TV Binge Box. Thank you for joining me for season 4, it turns out. The second season of me all by my lonesome. And a huge thank you again to Brookie and to Dan and to just the glorious Joe, who helped birth the TV Binge Box with me. And it was so fun. And they're just far too important and busy now. That's why I'm here. I'm a university student. I don't do anything except sell, alcohol to school children and alcoholics. Friends, it's been fun. The TV Binge Box will return. I can't guarantee the TV Black Box podcast will return, though I suspect that it will, but I don't know. Rob and I are still having conversations about that. Thank you for joining us for this grand experiment that has been this season. Thank you for being a part of it with us. I hope that you continue to love television, advocate, watch Australian drama and Australian comedy every chance you get, because the only way that the TV networks are going to know that there's a demand for it is if we watch it. It doesn't matter if you watch it live, linear broadcast, or you watch it on streaming, or you watch it on catch up. Just fucking watch it. That is the only way that they know. And it's a real clear message if we don't watch it, that we're not interested. Get into it, friends. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you for listening. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for downloading. Thank you for being a part of the TV Binge Box community. It's been great, friends. We'll see you again soon. I'm Mop. See you.